Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
Good evening, everyone. The Federal Treasurer is forecasting the biggest turnaround in the books on record, including a surplus. Tonight's budget will hold implications for Tasmania's coffers, with questions over our slice of the GST pie. It's unclear if it will be affected by the Macquarie Point Stadium funding, a question posed as State Parliament returned.
Back in the chamber and celebrating a premiership-like achievement.
And I am proud to be part of a government that has been able to deliver a long-held dream for Tasmania to finally be part of the AFL and the AFLW.
But the stadium controversy is hanging about. Tasmanians had been told they're only on the hook for half of the stadium made a reality by a federal government grant. State Labor is concerned the funds will come from the pool of GST money already headed our way.
Meaning there is essentially no extra money for the stadium.
Given a chance to confirm there's no sleight of hand, the Premier was less than convincing.
The Prime Minister does not have the ability to provide this direction, and the only person able to make this direction is the Commonwealth Treasurer.
We haven't got a negotiating agreement at all.
I understand the Treasurer, Ferguson, has been communicating directly.
A question also asked of the federal government.
Will you, Minister, guarantee that this will not impact on Tasmania's share of the GST?
Also avoided by the federal government.
I'm afraid to say I don't watch the Tasmanian Parliament. Sorry.
State Labor says that effectively sees Tasmania paying for the entire stadium ourselves. Logic that the Liberals have employed when criticising hospital funding, won by Andrew Wilkie in 2019. Those looking for further details on the stadium and team deals could be disappointed.
Can you tell us when you'll be tabling the full unredacted contracts and supporting documents for the Macquarie Point Stadium and AFL team?
Some details will be released after cooling off periods, but not all.
In the case of the club's funding and development agreement, a number of provisions will need to remain confidential. The release of the negotiated position of the AFL may be detrimental to future negotiations of the AFL.
Commercial interests running out winners over full transparency by a goal. Josh Duggan, 7 Tasmania News.
The Premier will ask the Standing Orders Committee to review parliamentary practices, potentially barring MPs from naming public servants. The heated debate descended into chaos, with Labor leader Rebecca White calling Jeremy Rockcliffe a hypocrite and Cassie O'Connor thrown out of the chamber.
I'm very well aware of my responsibility for public servants. They should, like all of us, be able to expect a safe workplace.
We have to have privilege in this place extend to allow us to identify issues of wrongdoing, potential corruption, and to call them out without fear of retribution.
It follows heated debate about the role of public servants in child sexual abuse in state settings and alleged harness racing mismanagement. The gavel's gone down on a real estate reality check. Sellers no longer have control of the market. The latest industry report confirms prices are dropping and interest rate hikes are largely to blame.
As conventional wisdom goes, what goes up must come down.
It is trending towards buyers having more choice, and having more choice means there's no urgency to make a decision.
The number of real estate transactions has plummeted more than 26% in the past year. House prices are also down, the median dropping to just below $600,000. As for investors, there's been an exodus, down close to 60% from last year.
If the equation doesn't work in your favour, you're not going to become an investor.
And agents say rate rises are the crippler.
Definitely impacted days on market, it impacted buyer numbers as well, and as soon as there was talk of that little pause happening, we noticed there was a bit of a lift.
Houses are now taking twice as long to sell as they did a year ago. On average, it's now around 42 days, meaning what sellers can expect has to change too.
We're sort of in a market that was very, very comparable to what we were having just prior to COVID came into it. The only thing that's different now, obviously, is the prices are a little bit higher than where they were.
On the rental side, there's little relief for those looking for something affordable. The report says the lower end of the market remains watertight, with the only cracks appearing in the middle and upper tiers.
A number of our clients cannot even afford the lowest cost rental properties available.
Even those who can are needing support.
Because such a large amount of their fixed income is taken up with paying rent.
A market still fighting for air coming off the peak. Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News.
Fire has caused $500,000 damage to a meat processor in Glenorchy. Emergency services were called to the scene on Chapel Street around 7:30 last night. It's believed the fire started in a vat, with crews from Bridgewater, Glenorchy and Hobart taking around half an hour to bring it under control. Extra resources were also brought in as a precaution in case the blaze escalated. The fire is believed to have been accidental. A 41-year-old Spreyton man has been bailed after a 2-day operation at Spreyton. Police allege they seized methamphetamine, cannabis, an imitation firearm, a gel blaster and a taser. They also today searched a second location.
Spanning a second day, police still on the scene of Dino's wreckers at Spreyton.
The search yesterday, we located a number of illegal items, including drugs, firearms and stolen property.
The investigation leading them to a second undisclosed location today,
which is just concluded, and we're just assessing the results of that.
Tasmania Police called in extra resources to help carry out the special operation, with more than 50 officers confirmed on site.
Obviously, being a small state, our resources can be drained at some stages, and we don't have all the skills. We utilise some from Australian Federal Police and often Customs dogs and other agencies as well.
Police not releasing the details about the quantity or worth of the drugs, instead issuing this plea.
If anyone has any information regarding drug trafficking, stolen property or any other illegal activity, either here in Devonport or in the greater northwest area or in Tasmania, we certainly want those people to come forward.
As for how long police will remain on site at Spreyton,
searches take as long as they take.
A 41-year-old man has been charged and will appear in court at a later date. Talia Jordan, 7 Tasmania News.
Labor MP David O'Byrne has called for a workplace investigation to be triggered into the recent alleged assault at the Northwest Regional Hospital. Nearly a month on, there's no sign of one being called, with Tas Police handling the investigation.
We welcome the police investigation. It's completely appropriate, but they investigate different matters.
The police are only looking at the criminal aspects of what occurred. They're not looking at the safety issues that led to this situation happening.
Minister for Workplace Safety Elise Archer says Tasmania Police is the appropriate agency to investigate. The medical professional involved is recovering. Greyhound racing organisers have been accused of trying to buy a crowd. Independent Christy Johnston told Parliament sporting clubs were offered a cash bonus to find attendees for a recent meet.
We know that numbers are dwindling at race events. So instead of trying to address the cruelty issues, what the industry does instead is try and bribe sporting clubs.
The Hobart Greyhound Racing Club and Tasmanian Hospitality Association, who ran the event, were contacted for comment. There are mounting concerns about the mental wellbeing of new mothers across the state following the looming closure of St Helens Hospital. The state government's planning to provide some public hospital beds, but healthcare staff claim the plan doesn't go far enough.
As the clock ticks closer to the closure of St Helens Private Hospital, with the state's only mother-baby inpatient mental health unit, the state government's taken a baby step.
He's been working on it very hard, has delivered those results very quickly, and we hope that if more needs to be done, then of course the Premier will make that clear.
But it's not all a pat on the back. Many concerned the new dedicated mother and baby unit won't be enough to support the number of new parents suffering from postnatal conditions such as depression and anxiety. With just 3 dedicated public beds, plus what may be available in the paediatric ward.
It's just a drop in the ocean of what we actually need. So while we welcome this as a beginning, we do need more than that.
Also leaving many from both private and public sectors concerned about the impact on vulnerable patients.
I'm even more curious and interested to make sure that the follow-through is going to be what's required.
The Australian Nursing and Midwifery Federation of Tasmania claims the service set-up will be different and could add pressure on staff and mothers.
We understand that K6 West beds will house both the mother and baby in the same room. Obviously that's not the model that's currently in place at St Helens, and members are concerned about how that will actually allow the service to be delivered and have positive outcomes.
The state government says it's in the process of creating a staffing model which would ensure St Helens healthcare workers who wish to work in the public system would have their jobs secured. The new ward's expected to be operational by mid-June. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News. There are now more opportunities than ever for young Tasmanians to get involved in the big decisions affecting them. The YEP program and website was launched today. It stands for Your Engagement Place. It means those aged 18 and younger can participate in legislative reform, writing competitions and plans for youth services, an opportunity often set aside for adults.
Opportunities that are available on the YEP website will be safe for young people to participate in. They will meet what's called an ethical benchmark.
I think it's really important because young people are coming up with better and better ideas on how to fight issues such as climate change, and I believe that it is our future, so it should be under our control and our guidance.
Tasmanians can get involved by registering on the YEP website. One of the world's most iconic comedians is set to perform in Tasmania later this year. John Cleese taking to Twitter last night to confirm an Australian tour, announcing stops in Launceston and Hobart in his own unique way. Cleese was a founding member of Monty Python and also starred as grumpy hotel owner Basil Fawlty in the hit sitcom Fawlty Towers. Times and venues for the shows will be confirmed tomorrow. Cancer Council Tasmania is wrapping its arms around Tasmania's migrant community. The charity has committed to working closely with the Migrant Resource Centre to help new arrivals access cancer support.
Cancer doesn't discriminate. We know that cancer is in those communities.
The staff will get to know each other a little bit better. The services will engage more regularly.
A multicultural morning tea marked the occasion, while Cancer Council Tasmania's annual morning tea event will take place on May 25.
Rising Tasmanian hockey star Madison Brooks is turning her focus towards Paris as she prepares to jet off to Europe for the next stage of the Pro League. The OHA player is already making an impact after scoring one of the goals of the season in New Zealand.
It was a goal that had to be seen to be believed.
Space on the reverse stick. Oh, it's in!
Madison Brooks is tomahawk straight critical in last month's win over New Zealand. The spectacular goal not exactly a fluke though.
Have a hit around quite frequently and practice different shots and things, but yeah, probably never dreamt to score a goal like that.
Her parents also having questions about whether she meant it or not.
Oh, they're like, oh, were you trying to cross it or, or were you actually trying to shoot? Nah, they were pretty keen. They were excited for me.
The OHA product has made a serious impact since debuting for Australia in Hobart.
And there is Madison Brooks.
She's been selected for the next leg of the Pro League, with matches against the Netherlands and Belgium in June.
Europe's a very strong hockey nation, so to be able to go over there and play against some of the best players in the world is going to be really exciting.
The Oceania Championships, which serves as a qualifying tournament for Paris, also on her radar. Madison's Hockey One coach telling media last month he expects her to be at the Olympics.
I think she'll have another good Hockey One. She'll be a really strong player for us, and I expect her to push for Hockeyroos selection next year.
But she's taken her Hockeyroos career one step at a time.
I'm not looking too far ahead at the moment, but yeah, just keep ticking along at the moment, and any opportunity I get, I'll just take with open arms.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
And South African power hitter Lizelle Lee has been rewarded for a stellar debut season with the Tasmanian Tigers. Lee has been given a state contract after scoring 559 runs at an average of nearly 51 last year. 13 of the 15 players from last year's championship winning squad have signed on in a bid to secure a historic third title in a row.
Kept our core group of players and added some exciting new talent as well, so I think we'd definitely be in a great position to go 3 in a row.
Grand final hero Sarah Coyte's already confirmed she's moving to New South Wales While Macy Gibson is taking a step back from elite cricket. 3 in a row. How good would that be, Kim?
It would be good. Thank you very much, Tom.
Good evening. Hobart 14 degrees today, Launceston and Devonport 18, Burnie recorded 15. The warmest spot was Eddystone Point with 19 degrees. St Helens 18, Bushy Park, Friendly Beaches, Low Head and Flinders Island all 16. King Island and Grove 15, Strawn 10 overnight and a high today of 14. The thicker cloud over the west today where a few showers did fall, the northeast mostly clear. Patchy cloud sits over southern WA. Coastal Victoria had some low-level cover too, with the rest of the nation pretty clear. Tomorrow, the large high continues its dominance over the nation. A trough and cold front develop over Western Australia. We will still have those west to southwesterly winds tomorrow, increasing to 20 to 30 knots over the south and lower east. A strong wind warning applies from Wineglass Bay to southeast Cape. Hobart tomorrow, a bit warmer than today. Cloudy and 16, 15 for Geefston, a shower or two, a shower also for Bothwell. Launceston shooting for a high of 17 degrees, a cloudy day, partly cloudy for Devonport, 15 the top for Cressy. Burnie 16 and partly cloudy, showers further west. Strawn a top of 14, Curry on King Island 15. St Helens partly cloudy and 16, same forecast for Swansea, Orford a cloudy day and 16 degrees. On Thursday, areas of morning frost and fog, fine except for late showers over the northwest. Showers extending over the north and west on Friday, then pushing to most regions, the east missing though. And on Saturday mostly fine apart from the chance of a light shower over the west. Showers and 21 in Perth, cloudy over Adelaide, a showery 16 on the way in Melbourne. Sunny and 16 in Canberra, 4 degrees warmer in Sydney and 4 degrees warmer again in Brisbane. Not much warmth around here at the moment, 11 degrees in Hobart, 10 in Launceston, 11 right now in Devonport, and here in the studio it's about 3 degrees. This little cold snap has taken you by surprise as well, Kim, hasn't it? You haven't adequately heated the studio for us this evening, and we give you one job.
I've got more than one job, but yes, it is a little cool in here tonight. Thank you, Murph. And that is all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.